Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at an accessory for the Valoi 360 system that I purchased and it just showed up. So we're going to open this box and see what's in there and how it works. So a few weeks ago I was sent a Valoi system for scanning my film with a DSLR. And that was a sponsored video. It was great that they sent me that stuff and we were able to look at it. But they've come out with a new accessory that I purchased, pre-ordered, and it just arrived yesterday. So we're going to open this up and take a look at it and check out how everything works out. Okay, all right, well, got some candy. Okay. How do we get this box? Here we go. All right, here we are. This should be, if I can get the bag open, the holder for a light. So the way the system works is you put your film in here, you can scroll through and take your pictures with the camera hanging down, and you have a light underneath. Now the light source is entirely up to you. The system, however, was designed to implement and incorporate a LED video light by Raleno. You don't have to. On its own, it can use whatever you like. iPad, a light tablet, which I've got a Kaiser light box LED that can work. All sorts of other options. But they intended for this thing to hold one of these lights. So I bought one of these lights off Amazon. I believe you can get the light and the holder as a kit. I didn't. It's cheaper for me in the US to just go ahead and order one off Amazon. And I've tried it out before. It works pretty well. It plugs in with USB-C and goes from there. I don't know if I have any power. May not have power. Yep, we do. Okay. So it's a standard LED video light. It's got, I'm going to turn it off for the moment, white light, which is daylight balance, and warm light. And you can just turn the dial off and on. Pretty straightforward. And it's got a white diffuser on it, so it's fairly even. And this holder here should let the light just slide in so that it lays flat, centered under here, because the way they've made this light is with these two knobs. And these knobs get in the way when it lays down. It doesn't lay flat. And I've just kind of used some wobble wedges in the past, but then also this doesn't really have a way for this to sit on here properly. So that's where the holder comes in. It is steel, very well made, powder coated, flat. I don't see any twist in it. Let's see what came in here. This, I would suspect, are rubber feet. Yeah. Okay, rubber feet and little bolt. So I've got the rubber feet on the bottom here of my system. We'll go ahead and take these off. And I've got the diffuser on here. With the video light being diffused, may not necessarily need to use a diffuser. I'm going to go ahead and use it on there just because I've got it. And the more even and diffused the light, in my opinion, the better. Now, I already know that the holder works well because I've been using it to get my film shots on Instagram, and it does pretty good. And I know the light works well because of what I've been using, but I've had to kind of fudge a way to get it all to work together. Okay, so let's see. We're going to want to go this way. Which way do I want the light to go? If I want this USB-C cord, it's going to go this way. I guess it really doesn't matter. Oh, I guess it does matter a little bit, because if I want the cord accessible, I'm going to need it to be able to slide inside. So then which way do I want this to go. I'm left-handed, so for me, having the film, winding, yeah, we'll go this direction. It is reversible, so if left or right-handed, you can do it whichever way you want. So let's go ahead and do it this way. Get this to line up. Be easier. There we go. Get these little fingers in here. Okay, one more to go. No. Ah, come on. You know what, I may have over-tightened these a little early. There we go. There we go. Alright, we got it. Okay, now we'll tighten it up. I'm probably making this harder on myself than I really need to. Alright, we're there. Now let's put some feet on. You know what? These are the new ones. I'm going to use the original because I've already got the threads going on something, so I'll set these aside. I got two sets. So if I do something to ruin the feet in some way, I've got a whole nother set for later. Or if I decide I want to take this off and try a different light source, I can keep these feet on and use the other set on the film holder. Because we're going to do a video at some point testing out different light sources to see what works and what doesn't. I've got to talk to Sekonic about one of their new C800 color meters. My C500 is good, or C700, whatever it is. But it doesn't have quite the graph that the new ones have. And I think if we're going to test out light sources, we kind of need to use that. So that's on the table for a future thing. Great, let's go ahead and turn this light on. And let's turn it down a little bit so we're not blinding ourselves here. Okay, there we go. That goes down in here somehow. You can see what I'm doing. Maybe I can see what I'm doing. Ooh, okay. Well, maybe we were a little ambitious on getting our feet on there before we got everything, the light in there. This may not be a removable light. It may be a unit that has to stay as a unit. If that's the case, that's fine with me because I'm not using this light for video. There we go. Alright, well that's something to keep in mind. If this is your video light and you're using it as well for this, you're going to have to undo the feet in order to get the light out. If, however, you're like me and you got this light specifically for this, then it can just stay in there all together at one time. Ta-da! Okay, that's it. Controls are easily accessible. I'm going to turn these down so that we're not blinding the video camera. And there we go. So that's it in a nutshell on putting it together. Get my 6x7 in there because that's what I use the most. And it's got a little wobble so I can adjust my feet. There, nice and steady. So this is, let me get this centered in the camera. Ta-da! So this is a nice little compact unit. Now I've got the whole thing. They don't make a stand that I'm aware of. I don't need to get one, so I'm not going to be, get the knife out of the way, I'm not going to be reviewing a stand. I use, I'll just go over what this is real quick. And get all my junk out of the way. Get my C-stand over in the way of everything. Get my leg back under my table. Oh! Okay, this is what I use. And it works great. This is a Durst M301 or M300, I don't know. One of those two. Enlargers. And it's a little 35mm enlarger. I got it to do a enlarger alignment video on it, and I just haven't done that yet. But I bought it cheap off eBay, and the head sits right here, but it comes off. This is just a big screw. You can just unscrew it. The head can tilt, or you can just remove it completely because it's a 3/8 by 16 thread bolt. So I put a ball head on here, and I can lift my camera up. I can lift it up with the gear, either way. And so I just have my camera looking down. So now this just goes on here, and that's my stand. This is not something you have to use. This is just what I have, and it works out really well because it's small and compact. I can move it out of the way, which in this room, everything's in the way. And one day I may make a dedicated stand, but quite frankly, I don't know why I would. That works really well, and it takes about the same space as any sort of small copy stand you can get. But that's really about it. This is a very well made unit down here. I think it's going to work pretty well on keeping the light just convenient for me. Because now instead of having to try to balance the light and move it around, I can just keep it all together. It's bolted nice and tight. The light does slide around. Ah! Oh my gosh. Clearly I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing around here. Let's just set that aside. The light does slide around. Of course, that's because I'm picking it up and I'm moving it places. Let's go ahead and turn that off. You normally wouldn't, right? You're going to keep it in one place. Oh, look at that. Oh, it doesn't want to come out. All right. Well, I suppose if you are going to take this out, you only have to take that one out. What's getting stuck is the tripod screw there. That's it. Would there be any improvements that I would recommend for this? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, as I'm moving it around, what's happening? It's sliding around in there. So perhaps just a hole. Doesn't have to be anything like precise, just a hole that I could use a long threaded bolt, like something like this, and just thread it through into the tripod hole to kind of lock it down in place, and that would keep the light there. It's not necessary, but that would be nice if you have to move this around a lot and you don't want your light to like accidentally drop out like that. Other than that, I mean, it holds the light really flat. The controls are accessible, the plug's accessible. It bolts to this really snug, so I have no complaints with how it attaches or is constructed. The only thing would be either the tripod connection here, or maybe a small little plate, because this already has little holes right here. Let me see if you can see that a little easier. These little threaded holes, they are just like the threaded holes on this end. This would take the cleaner, the brush, like that. So there's nothing that I'm aware of to go into this side, so maybe just a small piece of flat powder coated steel with little thumb screws just to keep this from sliding out. You know, that would be nice. Otherwise, like I said, something to just attach to the tripod screw. Is it absolutely necessary? No, it's not. Would that just be a nice little improvement? Yeah, maybe. Like I said, it'd be an improvement if you move this around a lot. And I'm not really going to move it around. It's going to sit on a shelf for me until I'm ready to use it. So, nice complete system. I do want to thank Valoi for sending me the original kit. Their price, I bought this for 75 euros. I believe that includes VAT. I'm not in Europe. Technically, I'm not supposed to pay VAT, so I don't know how they have that worked out, but I was charged the full amount, VAT included. So I don't know what kind of store system they have and whether they need to adjust to that for US purchasers. But it was shipped really, really quick. I want to say it took about 4, maybe 5 business days to get to me by DHL from Finland to Kentucky. So it showed up yesterday, day after the holiday, because it was Thanksgiving on Thursday, and then Black Friday, and it showed up DHL right on time. So if you're looking for a complete kit, this might work out pretty well. If you're not, well, then don't get it. Save your money. But I find it's going to be very useful. So that's it. Just want to show you the thing that I got here, how it works, how it's put together. And if you are looking for such a system, I think you're going to have a pretty good one if you spend the money and get this. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And you all have a great week.